Rihanna fetches water, carries sand to build a Malawi hospital. Rihanna, also known as Robin Fenty, is seen helping in building a hospital in Malawi. The philanthropist in working gear is seen helping the laborers fetch sand and water. This comes shortly after she was named Ambassador Extraordinary and Plenipotentiary for her home country of Barbados to promote education, tourism, and investment. Rihanna has a deep love for this country, and this is reflected in her philanthropy, especially in the areas of health and education. She also shows her patriotism in the way she gives back to this country and continues to treasure the island as her home, said Prime Minister Mia Amor Motley. Rihanna, one of the best-selling singers of all time with 250 million record sales globally, is an actress and fashion designer. Earlier this year, Rihanna and her Clara Leonel Foundation visited Malawi, one of the poorest countries in the world, with global citizens and global partnerships for education. In a new short documentary, the pop star and GPE ambassador expresses her interest in learning more about the African nation and how to combat the challenges it faces in the education sector. For example, lack of resources, which oftentimes leads to a disparaging number of children dropping out after primary school. The lack of access to education for children around the world is a massive problem. That does not mean we should throw up our hands in despair and surrender, Rihanna said. We need to take on as much of the challenge as we can to set an example and see the difference. This is what has driven me to prioritize global education in my philanthropy and advocacy work. While growing up in Barbados, Rihanna added, she now realizes she took her access to education for granted. In many parts of the world, children are prevented from that same access due to poverty, politics, war, sexism, and more. To help make these inequalities a thing of the past, Rihanna has renewed her call for support for the Global Partnership for Education and their efforts toward fighting the education deficit around the world. Rihanna also discussed her own Clara Leonel Foundation and called on readers to join her in hitting up world leaders and politicians on Twitter and elsewhere to share the message.